guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back on Matt Cook's 91Z. On the last video we did quite a few small things, oil change and plug wire, stuff like that, trying to get it ready to go to the tuner. This video I've been waiting to do for a while. I'm really excited. I know Matt's excited too, and hopefully we can get some questions answered about this install. I think there may be a few out there. I'm not totally sure. I did a quick little search and I've seen a couple, but either way, we're going to attempt to do it, see how it all fits together, and try to compile some information here in one video that will get a lot of these questions answered. So in this video, we're going to be attempting to install the HOLLEY 12.3 inch digital dash. And let me see here. So this comes with everything you need for that. And then I forget where Matt said this come from, but I will put it in the link below. But this is a 3D printed bezel to hopefully make it bolt in the factory location pretty much like stock. So, and I believe there is another bezel that goes on this here. I don't have it here, but I want to get as far as I can as far as getting this in and seeing how it's gonna fit. So this is new territory for me. I've never done this, so I don't know exactly what to expect, but I'm definitely excited for the the prospects of it. And anybody's had one of these cars, especially, I think it was really 91, 92, they had a problem with the tachometers in them. I know you can fix them. My 1LE's got the same problem. This car, I don't know if anything hardly works in this car gauge-wise. But either way, this will really update the look of the interior and the driving experience. This will be awesome if we can make this work. So first thing we'll do is I already took the dash pad off. It was just kind of sitting on there for now because we knew we had to get inside there and do a lot of work. So first thing we'll do is get on taking the old cluster out, and I'll bring you guys in and we'll mock up and see how this is going to fit in there. And it may be easier than I think it's going to be, but there's only one way to find out. So I got everything, the factory dash pad off and the factory cluster. It didn't work because it wasn't even plugged back in, I guess. So he had already known he was going to do something different with it, so it wasn't even plugged in. But so now I've got the cluster out, and I went ahead and dropped down the column some because I know I'm going to need it out of the way in order to make some room in there for this this HOLLEY dash and this bezel. So next thing we'll do is just kind of dry fit that bezel and that dash, and just see what all I need to work around. Without a direct instructions on how to do this, it's just kind of figuring out what I got to do as I go. So I'm gonna grab those pieces and we'll see what we got to do to get it to fit in there. So I've been messing a lot in this dash, and I've got a game plan on what has to happen. Actually, I've already done it, but I guess figured out what has to happen in order to fit that dash and that bezel in here. The bezel fits perfectly in here once you cut a couple things away, but it will not fit without making these few cuts. So let me see if I can explain this here. I know it's hard to tell, but right here, my fingers, it's just open here, which that bezel is just kind of squared. It don't have any room for these embosses at factory, but this is already gone factory. And over here, there was a big step. You can see back here where I cut that out. So I come in here with my Dremel tool, cut this embossment out to where the bottom is completely, square on each side. And then on this top part up here, you have to slice it and make some room just on this corner. The other corner is fine. And I know this might not be the best lighting, but it's just full of shadows. It's kind of hard to film. But so up here, you should have come in, was that maybe a 1/4 inch up, and just kind of clearance it over here. And that's really all there is to it as far as getting the bezel to fit down in there with the dash. This piece here out, so you've got like 1.5 inches by like 1/2 inch tall section to come out here. Make sure you leave this area here so you can screw your dash in here and here, but your bezel. And then up here, you got to clearance this around here. You could clearance this all the way, and it makes it a little bit easier, I guess, to get in there, but not really. I mean, this really all you got to take out. So so this piece, that piece, and then I'll go grab the bezel and show you guys how it fits in there with the dash. All right guys, here's a close-up of that bezel that I'm using to put this HOLLEY 12.3 in this 3rd gen. This is made by a company, carchains3d.com, or I believe they go by just Car Chains on Facebook. But I just want to take a second and talk about this for a minute. But this piece fits really nice. It is, you know, once you do those 2 modifications, those cutting areas inside that dash I was showing you, it is bolt in. It's very nice. And then I'll show you how the dash works, but you got these set screws on the back. There we go. It's a little tray. The HOLLEY dash slides into here. You snug these up to keep the dash in. It ain't gonna take much pressure at all to keep the dash in there. And then you've got the 2 factory mounts up here to the dash, and then one here and one here, and you're in. You know, slide your HOLLEY, your dash in the back, put this in the dash here. You got 4 retaining screws to hold it in, and that's it. Anybody that's looking to, you know, maybe be interested in doing the swap, this is definitely where you want to start out here. 2 quick cuts, mount your dash in this bezel, bezel into the dash, and you're good to go. So I'm gonna get the dash put in here, and then I'll show you guys putting it in the car, how quick and easy it goes, and then we'll start getting this thing. Well, first up, we'll see what we gotta do with the column to get it to come up and fit where all that's gonna be, and then we'll get it wired so we can finally see it, you know, turned on and come to life. All right, guys, I just got this this track back here just a little bit loose. Loosen it up a little bit on each side, and then this HOLLEY dash just slides right down here in the back, right down into that tray, like so. And then I will snug this up a little bit back here. Just down in here. And that's all there is to it, actually putting the HOLLEY dash in the bezel. Real simple, real smooth, quick, easy. All right, guys. Really slick setup. So now I'm gonna get out some tools, snug this up just a little bit, make it a little bit snug, and then I'll get you guys back on when I actually slide it into all this into the dash. The trick is, guys, to put the top in first, and bring the bottom down under, and it'll go right in there. So I'm just gonna put my 2 screws up top here, and my 2 screws down here at the bottom. And then I'll show you guys, we'll get on to the steering column stuff. All right, guys, I got, let's see if I can get in here. I got those 4 7mm in and tightened up, so now the dash in there real good and snug. I'm gonna try to explain this part the best I can. It's gonna be kind of tough on video, but I'll do the best I can. So in order for this to work, because the factory cluster has a big raised area here, and obviously the HOLLEY doesn't. In order to make this work, you've got to gain about 1.5 inches of clearance for the steering column that you don't have factory. So the first 1/2 inch I gained was from this, and it's hard. Let me see if I can get in there, but this plastic sleeve on the actual column itself, I went back in and notched it, cut it out, and then that got me about a ½ inch, maybe 3/8, but it's close to ½ inch. And once this is tightened up, this is going to come up into this area right here. So that's going to give me about a ½ inch. Second area is where the column actually bolts to the car itself. Now, the stud on the car comes down to just meet this where I need to have clearance, so there's not enough hanging down. But as what I did is I put a threaded sleeve up on the factory stud to gain me a few more threads through here. Actually, it's a like a female on female threaded sleeve here, so it goes over the factory stud, and then I'm just putting a bolt in the bottom with some Loctite and some washers. I didn't need much, maybe like a 1/4 inch as far as the the thread. So I know it's gonna be really strong still, just as strong as it would have been stock, if not maybe even stronger with the threaded sleeve. But so that's what you got to do here. And now this is gonna go up. Let me see. It ain't quite this big a gap once it's tight. Right now it's hanging down. I can bolt it up, and it'll be about 1 inch lower than what it would have been stock. And I've already had Matt in the car before we went ahead with this, and he's a pretty big dude, pretty tall, and even with the column down 1 inch to clear, he still has plenty of room. And I'm an average size guy, and I've got plenty of room. So I think that this would fit just about anybody, unless you're abnormally like really big, but you might not be fitting in this car if you are that big anyway. So hopefully that answers some questions that might arise on if you bring this column down. They're still really roomy. This had a factory seat in it when he tried that, and it worked. This car is going to have aftermarket seats now, which is going to gain even more clearance. And this is a factory wheel, as you could tell, which there's clearance with that. But this car is going to have an aftermarket wheel in it, which is going to gain us, the diameter of the aftermarket wheel is 1 inch smaller, so it'll gain us a ½ inch, all the way around on clearance as well. So it's going to fit really good still. Just wanting to be really transparent on what all needs modified to put this dash in one of these cars. So next thing, I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the column. And also too, if you guys have any questions on this part underneath here, I know it's kind of vague or whatever, but I could share some more info if you guys are interested in doing this and need some more questions on just what I did to the column, or up here at the top or whatever. But basically the column has to come down, 1 inch, 1.5 inches in order to clear that Holley, that dash. But as you could tell, once it's in there, it's freaking awesome. It looks killer. And we'll get the bezel on the outside of it. We'll get the dash pad up so you guys can see exactly what it will look like in one of these cars. But right now I'm going to tighten up this column, so that's tight. And then I'm going to get on to wiring this thing so we can see it actually turned on in this car. Alright guys, I put this old dash pad back in. That's not staying in here, obviously. It's just for now to be able to get an idea. But this is with our bezel popped in. It's not screwed in, it's just kind of hanging there for now, because I might have to go back through and take it out and just kind of see. But as you can see, that column fits up in there really nice once you clearance it. There are some areas, where I might put like some felt or something. I don't know, it actually looks pretty clean, so I might just leave it. But yeah, so this is factory column, 12.3 inch Holley dash in a 3rd gen, and it looks amazing. I think I'm going to go ahead and wire it first. For the Holley dash, you've got the CAN connector, which plugs into the Holley terminator, which this car has already, so that's pretty simple. You got 3 wires, ground, constant power, and then switch power. So I'm gonna hook that stuff up real quick, and then I'm gonna turn this thing on and get a feel for what it's gonna be like in there. All right, guys, I'm sitting in the car now. The column's all the way up here. And a lot of people might say, well, what happens when you move the column down as far as, on the dash? There's still a ton of room here with, I don't know, too many people. Well, I don't know, it might not be a bad idea to drive like this here because you got a really good look at the display here. So, but, I'm really super comfortable in it right here at this angle here. I could definitely drive it with the tilt down or up. Let me see if I can move this. That's with it down. Which is still good. Move it up, you get a little bit, you'll see a little bit better, but which still isn't bad. I mean, usually I wouldn't drive this car with the column tilted up, but it's actually really comfortable now with the column being dropped down. It's actually really nice right here. So, and as you can see, it's really clean in there. It just fits really well. So, I guess without further ado, let's give this thing some power and see what it looks like in there. Heck yeah. Man, that is clean. That is really awesome. And like I said, this steering wheel is huge, it's bulky, but it's not staying. We've got an aftermarket wheel already here for it, which is gonna look awesome. But yeah, guys, this is really sweet, fits really awesome, and it really updates this car. Like, it don't even feel like, I've had a bunch of these cars and just sitting here with that on, it don't even feel like a third gen, which take that as good or bad. I definitely like my stock feeling third gens, but this is something really cool for people that might want a little bit more. So I'm gonna wrap this video up here, but I can't go without showing you guys this here. I'm kind of weird with videos right now, so the last video I did install this steering wheel and stuff. If you've seen that video, cool. If not, I want to bring you a close-up of the actual dash in there with the steering wheel and stuff, because it's a lot different for me, from the old airbag wheel to the new steering wheel. So bring you guys in, show you this real quick, and then we're gonna kill this video. All right, get up in here. Actually, well, no, right there. All right. All right. So this steering wheel is about 1.25 inches smaller diameter than the other one, the stock one. So it's really roomy down here, compared, since I had to drop this this column some. But here's a good perspective. That's with it tilted all the way up. That's with it all the way down. I can actually put it all the way down on my legs. There's about where I would, well, there we go, about where I would probably drive it, somewhere right in there, which is really good. You can really see really well still. So lots of room too, because this does have that quick disconnect steering wheel, which all of it together brings the steering wheel back towards you a little bit, which actually helps, space up here on the dash. It's really comfortable in here. So let me just turn this on here. And the nice thing about the quick disconnect is, so I can come in here, see if I can get it off there at one hand. There we go. Take that off of there, and then I can get right in here to everything, which is just really cool. Be able to just get right in here. It's pretty awesome. And this Holley dash is quite the unit. I think it's gonna be awesome actually out on the road driving it with it. Once we get in there and program some more stuff into it. Definitely looking forward to all that. So, all right, guys, with all that being said, I'm gonna kill this video here. If you guys have any questions at all about this, obviously it's the first time I've done it. I haven't seen any, been looking since, I haven't seen any of this 12-inch dash in a third gen with a factory column. I've seen a lot of them with racing columns, which are a lot smaller, or aftermarket columns is called aftermarket columns, but where it's a lot smaller, to do that. But it will work with the factory column. You've seen it here, maybe first. If anybody else has got one done, reach out to me. I'd like to see how they did it, if they had different ideas on how to do it or whatever. But Yeah, I'm going to put the link in the description below on the company that makes the bezel to do this. And I'll probably put a link down there for the Holley dash, the actual one we put in here. And that's really the only pieces we needed to make this happen. If anybody's got any questions on hardware used or whatever, put those in the comment. I'll definitely answer that stuff. Yeah, I think next step for this car is, I think it's going to go to the tuner next. So we'll get it off the tune. Hopefully all that goes well. There's a lot of unknowns, to me at least, about this car. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll bring you guys back in once it gets back from the tuner and we get some more info on it. Thanks for watching, guys, and like I said, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.